The first 45 minutes after your child wakes up may be the most important window of their entire day, and most parents spend it rushing. You're calling out reminders, searching for a missing shoe, pouring cereal with one hand while checking your phone with the other. Sound familiar? You're not alone in this. Millions of parents move through the morning in pure survival mode, just trying to get everyone out the door. But here's what most of us don't realize. While we're focused on being on time, our children's brains are doing something extraordinary, and we have the power to either support that process or unknowingly work against it. This isn't about adding more to your morning. It's about understanding what your child's developing brain actually needs so that the small things you're already doing can become genuinely powerful. Here's what neuroscience reveals. The morning brain is uniquely primed for development in ways no other time of day can match. When your child wakes up, their cortisol levels, that's the brain's natural alerting hormone, rise naturally in a pattern called the cortical awakening response. This surge primes the brain for learning, memory formation, and emotional readiness. Research in the field of chronobiology shows this window is especially sensitive to environmental input, meaning the experiences your child has in the first hour of waking literally shape how their neural pathways organize themselves for that entire day. What you do in those first 45 minutes doesn't just affect their mood. It affects their capacity to focus, connect, regulate their emotions, and learn. And the good news is, the habits that support this don't require extra time. They just require intention. The first habit is one of the simplest and one of the most overlooked. Let in the morning light. When you open the curtains or step outside for even a few minutes, you are doing something profound for your child's brain. Natural light hits a cluster of cells in the brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, that's the body's internal clock, and sends a signal that tells the entire nervous system it's time to wake, regulate, and engage. Studies from circadian science show that morning light exposure within the first hour of waking significantly improves alertness, mood stability, and even memory consolidation throughout the day. For children whose developing brains are especially sensitive to environmental cues, this matters enormously. You don't need a walk or outdoor play. Simply opening the blinds and sitting near a window during breakfast is enough. It takes 10 seconds. Its effects last all day. The second habit is about what goes into your child's body first. And this one might surprise you. Most children eat carbohydrate-heavy breakfasts. Cereal, toast, waffles, foods that spike blood sugar and then drop it sharply about 90 minutes later, right around the time many kids are expected to sit and focus at school. Here's the science. The brain runs on glucose, but it needs that glucose delivered steadily, not in a spike. Protein and healthy fats slow the absorption of carbohydrates, creating what researchers call sustained cognitive fuel. A study published in Nutritional Neuroscience Research found that children who ate protein-rich breakfasts demonstrated significantly better attention and working memory mid-morning compared to children who ate high-sugar meals. You don't need to overhaul your kitchen. Try scrambled eggs with fruit, nut butter on whole grain toast, or Greek yogurt with a handful of berries. Small shift, real impact. Building on that foundation of physical readiness, the third habit is about emotional connection, and it may be the most powerful of all. Before the school bag is packed and the shoes are found, your child's brain needs one thing above all else: you. Not a distracted version of you, not a multitasking version, just you, present, for 10 minutes. Research on attachment neuroscience, including work by developmental psychologist Dr. John Gottman, shows that children who receive consistent, warm parental attention in the morning demonstrate measurably lower cortisol levels throughout the school day. That means less anxiety, better focus, and greater resilience when things get hard. 10 minutes of undivided connection, following your child's lead in play, sitting together, talking about something they care about, activates the brain's prefrontal cortex and helps regulate the limbic system, which is the emotional center. You're not just being a good parent, you're literally building the neurological architecture of your child's emotional intelligence. You're doing better than you think, simply by caring enough to try. The fourth habit addresses something most morning routines get completely backwards: movement before sitting. Many children are asked to sit down for breakfast, sit in the car, and then sit at a desk, often within the span of an hour. But the developing brain is not designed to shift directly from sleep to stillness. The cerebellum, that's the part of the brain that coordinates movement, has direct connections to the prefrontal cortex, the thinking and planning center. Research from pediatric neuroscience shows that just 10 to 15 minutes of physical movement in the morning significantly increases dopamine and norepinephrine levels, the neurotransmitters responsible for focus and impulse control. This doesn't need to be structured exercise. Dancing to 2 songs in the kitchen, jumping on a mini trampoline, a quick walk to the corner, any movement counts. When children move before they're asked to sit and concentrate, they're neurologically ready to do so. When they don't, you're often fighting their biology for the rest of the morning. The fifth habit is the quietest one, and perhaps the one most underestimated by parents everywhere. How you say goodbye each morning shapes your child's stress response system for the entire school day. When a goodbye is rushed, anxious, or unpredictable, the brain's amygdala, the threat detection center, registers low-level danger and elevates cortisol. Research in pediatric stress physiology shows that children with consistent, calm, brief goodbye rituals demonstrate lower baseline anxiety, greater willingness to take academic risks, and stronger peer relationships throughout the day. A ritual doesn't need to be elaborate. It just needs to be yours. 3 squeezes of the hand, a specific phrase like, "You've got this, and I'll be right here." A forehead kiss and eye contact. Whatever it is, do it the same way every time. Predictability is safety to a developing brain, and safety is the soil in which confidence grows. Here's what this all means when you bring it together. You opened the curtains and let in the light. You offered eggs and fruit instead of just cereal. You put your phone down for 10 minutes and followed your child's lead. You let them wiggle and dance before asking them to sit, and you held their face for a moment at the door and said the same words you always say. None of that took extra hours. None of it required perfection. But each of those moments was a message to your child's developing brain. A message that said, "You are safe, you are supported, you are ready." When these habits become part of your morning rhythm, something shifts, not just in your child's behavior, but in how they feel about themselves. Children raised in environments that consistently meet their neurological needs develop what researchers call secure regulatory capacity, the ability to manage emotions, persist through challenges, and trust in their own competence. These aren't small things. These are the internal qualities that stay with them through adolescence, through hard friendships, through everything that comes. Remember, there is no such thing as a perfect morning. Some days the eggs will burn and someone will cry and you'll be 5 minutes late anyway. That's normal. That's parenthood. The goal isn't a flawless routine. It's a consistent intention. It's showing up imperfectly and lovingly, and trusting that your presence is the most powerful developmental tool your child will ever have. You're not just getting them out the door. You're building a brain, and you're doing it beautifully. Which of these 5 habits resonates most with where you are right now? Share it in the comments. Your experience might be exactly what another parent needs to hear today.